Clean up so we can go inside. So we can go inside and eat lunch. Joshua, Jocelyn.
Infants, toddlers, and 2-year-olds experience many transitions during each day. While infants are usually on individual schedules, toddlers and 2s begin to transition in small or large groups. They transition from their families to the teachers, then throughout the day they transition between activities like playing with blocks, toileting, hand washing, snacks, outside time, or napping. Sometimes those transitions require leaving one room and going to another space. Coordinating this can be a challenge for the adults. And usually it includes at least some waiting time as children get ready. Waiting can be very aggravating. And aggravated children may pester others, which makes teachers aggravated too. Some simple strategies can make transitions less stressful.
Up, take your steps. We are going to wash your hands now, okay? Let's see. Wash your hands. Thank you, Elise. Great job. Lily, you are next. Let's go up. Say up.
Okay.
Say up. Up. Wash your hands. Good. Take your paper. Let's go. Let's go to the trash can.
Are you all done? Are you ready for dance?
Friends, I'm going to put the music in 2 minutes. Okay, so we're going to get ready for music. Okay, let's start cleaning up. Clean up. Jellyfish, clean up. Jellyfish, clean up. Jellyfish are come to help Miss Noni. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today?
Do I have Carolina? Yes. Do I have Jocelyn?
Be prepared. Routines are great. Find what works for you and your classroom, and then build a routine upon that. Kids feel safe in a routine. 2-year-olds feel safe in a routine. You feel safe. You know what's coming next.
We've worked really hard on lunch routines, and we were really amazed that by staying consistent with the routine every day, telling them, we're going to read our story, then Miss Kathy's going to call you over to wash your hands when you hear your name. It's amazing how, 3 weeks seems really great to me, like, wow, they got this, but it's consistency.
Mom and Addie, 1 more minute and we're gonna clean up the table. 1 more minute. Carter and Liliana, 1 more minute and we're gonna clean up the Play-Doh.
It's important to include warnings. Toddlers do not have a concept of time. They will need reminders. Having a predictable song or signal helps children to recognize a transition and switch gears.
Eat it on the way over.
Remember, schedules are often tools for adults, and some adults like to stick to them, but developmentally appropriate practice says that when children are engaged in play, it is better not to rush them. Children need time to separate from something that is important to them.
I'm gonna get the bag all ready so that in 1 minute we can put it away, okay?
So giving them those warnings or knowing, okay, you know what, in about 5-10 minutes, they're gonna make me clean up. So I'm preparing, and then when we get a little closer, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take my first group in, so the next group, we're gonna have to go in, so they know. So you have those kids you know that need a little more time, and sometimes you have to adjust to that because sometimes kids just need that.
Come on, friends.
Young children are just starting to regulate their own bodies, and each change presents a challenge. They are also not yet able to do many things for themselves, so changing from one thing to another takes lots of work on the part of an adult. Simply having lunch requires a whole series of steps to transition safely. By reordering a schedule of play, some teachers have found they can eliminate 1 or 2 transitions in a day.
Well, we try to keep them in small groups a lot of the times and try to, keep the other ones engaged while one of the other children, say, are washing their hands. Try to keep the others through a song or just talking to them, asking questions till it's their turn. We may be doing a little marching thing or movement thing right near the sink, and they're going one by one up there. When we're going outside and they have to wait for other friends for their codes, there'll still be puzzles or some kind of manipulative toy on the table that, once their code one's there, they can go over and play while they're waiting for their friends for a few minutes till we can all get out of the room and to the new location.
The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish.
Lunchtime can be a problem, especially when you expect all of the children to wash their hands and be seated before anyone starts to eat. An easier approach is to have one group of 5 children wash their hands and get seated. This group can start eating while the next group is washing their hands, and a third group may still be seated with a professional singing songs or listening to a story. The same strategy can be used to go outside. Teachers can take one group to the bathroom and get their coats on. That group of 5 can then go outside with a teacher, while the next group goes to the bathroom and washes their hands. Staff may decide it's better to use a stroller to get infants or young toddlers to an outdoor play space. But once you're there, allow children to be out and moving in the natural world.
Nap time. They go to their cubbies, they get their blankets, they get their sheets, whatever stuffed animal they have, goes to their cot. For lunchtime, they love to get their lunch boxes. They love to see what mommy and daddy pack for them each day. They'll go get their lunch boxes, take that to the table. Shoes, we'll have them put their shoes on themselves. Pretty much anything that they can do themselves, we get them trying at least. It usually takes a little bit to get the hang of doing stuff themselves.
Realistically, it can take 15 to 20 minutes for teachers to help infants and toddlers to get on their hats, jackets, and mittens. It may take 40 minutes to get outside and walk to a butterfly garden for 5 minutes of butterfly gazing before it's time to turn around and head back inside to enjoy lunch. But it is so important for the transitions to be enjoyable and meaningful. Spoken phrases can help children transition well.
Walking feet.
We are all familiar with walking feet. These toddlers have learned sticky backs.
Sticky back. High five. Sticky back. High five.
And this group moves from one room to another as a choo-choo train. Most importantly, as you transition, always count.
So anytime we leave our room, anytime we come back into our room, we are counting. Anytime we go into the bathroom, we count. Stairs and balancing beam. Right hand. Yep.